That's actually very easy. You can show 2 or 3 versions of the border that is contested. One of the great things about digital technology is that you can combine information from a number of sources into a single map to highlight what the differences of interpretation might be. And it's also possible to imagine maps, to imagine countries, to imagine borders that don't yet exist, and to conjure with the possibilities of those borders, to imagine what kind of states might result from the drawing of borders in different places or the drawing of completely new borders. The problem of the borders of early states is always a serious one. We have an inclination to want to draw a line to indicate where states ended, but of course in early times that was often not the case. There was a transitional area between states. This is especially so in Southeast Asia, but not just in Southeast Asia. Borders, even if they existed, might be marked by a number of boundary markers, but they weren't carefully laid out on every metre of the borderline. So under those circumstances, it's really necessary to use some kind of indication that the border is not to be taken seriously as a line on the ground. One of the ways we do this is by having a smooth line rather than a characteristically jagged line, which most borders are. Another way is to use colouring that shades at the borders. It's a challenge. Perhaps more of a challenge is to show how the extent of influence of a state or a kingdom might have varied over time. If a state gradually expanded without ever formally changing its borders, that can be a bit of a challenge to portray. But fuzzy edges are a great tool.